Okay, sorry about that, everybody. Welcome in. I was just setting everything up. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm just getting everything on my phone so that I can comment to everybody. If you're watching, make sure you hit that like button, as it really will help push this video through the analytics, and share this to somebody who might want to take part in our daily lives. So I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Let me bring up my screen on my phone. Attic, welcome in. Crypto Insane, Truth is Alive. Yes, I am home. Sorry, I just had to get everything set up. So, good mid-afternoon, 2:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, May 25th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So for anybody tuning in, just make sure to hit that like button, as it does help push me through the analytics, and share this to somebody you think might benefit from going into my lives. So if you haven't heard yet, the breaking news today is Brad Garlinghouse was interviewed, and he said he expects the lawsuit to be settled in weeks, not months. So could that be what's coming up on June 13th approximately? Is there something bigger than meets the eye here? So we're going to have to pay very close attention to this as we go on. So I want to start out, for anybody who's in here, I want to start out by playing this in about, I'll give everybody a couple minutes to get in here if anybody's going to be in here. So before that, let's go through some of the headlines real quick. Right now, the DXY, the major news of the day, is the DXY is up to 104 spot 21, up 0.31%. And remember, ask questions if you want. I'll only be here for 20 to 25 minutes. I've got to get the kids from school, so I'm limited until 2:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at max. That's the max I can be on. So that's 32 minutes from now, but I only anticipate doing about 20 minutes. The DXY, or 25 minutes, depending. We've got this W reversal like we've talked about. It looks like we're going to come up and play this 105 spot 30. We've now had a bullish cross in the daily time frame. This is a bullish indicator. So if that continues on, this is going to be a nice little spike up here for the US dollar. And I firmly believe even if we got rejected, we're going to have to come up to approximately 105 spot 30. We could actually put it in and make it a little more reasonable at 105 spot 10, just because that's the top of this first handle. If we come up to that wick. But I still like that 105 spot 30, so I'm not going to move it. I'm just showing you what can take part. But I do like to keep it consistent, so I'm going to keep it where I had it. There we go. So that's for the US dollar currency index, but I would not be surprised if we come up to 106 spot 847 if we continue moving up. We've got, let's see, real quickly, we'll just go into XRP real quickly, but first I want to play you this video so that I don't miss it in the interpretation. So let me play this video for you so that you can see this for anybody who's watching. Like I said, I'm not going to look to see who's watching. Just make sure you hit the like button. If I see people commenting, then I'll pay more attention to that, obviously. But for now, we're just going to flow through here as a normal update. So once again, I appreciate everybody tuning in, as it really means a lot to me for anybody to be tuning in, honestly.
Things stand today, and I'll try to not.
So this is what Brad Garlinghouse said, and why we could be looking at weeks instead of months. So this is really big news for anybody who hasn't seen it. If anybody has anything to say, let me know. We can keep this moving free flowing, and if you have something to say in the comments, that would be greatly appreciated, as it will help me give a direction to know what my audience wants, as I am showing appreciation for each and every one of you. That's why I'm doing the daily lives for 20 to 25 minutes today. I'm a little pressed for time, but I'm still trying to put it out here for you.
In terms of where things stand today, I'll try to not get too much into the legal weeds. You're right that I feel very confident that we'll see a decision from the courts in this year. In fact, I think I would guess it'll be in weeks, not months. There's some decisions that happened last week that you may have read about, that the judge ruled against the SEC's effort to redact certain information about a very kind of infamous speech that the then director of corporate finance, a guy named Bill Hinman, gave, talking about why ETH, in his view, was not a security. And the court just ruled last week that the notes and emails associated with that are going to be made public and should be public around June 13th. So I think that's a huge win for transparency. What it really calls out is there hasn't been clarity, and despite calls and demands from leaders across the crypto industry, we haven't seen that yet.
Welcome in, Mark. Let's go indeed. And yes, Terry, it does seem like somebody blinked, and the SEC could be the one who blinked. I talked about before how there was a rumor that Ripple was going to pay a $250,000 fine for not certifying Ripple as a security or not doing the proper paperwork to not make it a security. All this nonsense. But this, to me, is something with legs. This is Brad Garlinghouse going out of his way saying that he expects it in weeks, not months. This is the first time I've ever heard him say this. And if we've been talking about the end of second and third quarter. Now, does this stop us from having to push out until September? I certainly hope so, because this is becoming drag on. So let's finish this real quick.
But as I said, Ripple decided to lean in and fight this fight, both for Ripple but for the whole industry. We've spent a lot of money defending it. And I think what we've called out.
Honestly, Mark, we're doing pretty good. I appreciate the message. If you're happy and you know it, like the stream. Right now, we've got 18 out of 23 people watching, liking the stream. So I do appreciate that. So we'll finish this off here for the next several minutes, and then we'll get into the XRP chart. This only has about 25 seconds left.
Is really that the government in the United States and the SEC particularly is putting politics ahead of smart policy. And because of that, you're seeing entrepreneurs go overseas. You're seeing companies like Ripple. Most of our hiring is non-U.S. now. Most of our customers, as I mentioned, are non-U.S. And so I think it's kind of to be expected.
So, yes, indeed. Brilliant news. Let's hope it plays out. Yeah, truth is alive. Let's hope so. Adobo. Oh, yes, another date just like last year. Hopefully there's more. That's why I said, are we going to put stock into what he said? Last year I put zero stock into this. This year I put more stock into it just because we're getting towards the end of 2023. In 2021, I said towards the third quarter out into September at the latest, hopefully we'd have a resolution of this. And that was over 2 years ago. So I am more inclined to think hopefully something is going to come up of June 13th. But, you know, until it actually happens, this could be all mumbo jumbo. There is no hope. The man himself said it within weeks. Yep. So, you know, we'll see what happens there. So, real quickly, though, while I have your attention, I know it's been 9 minutes. I like the 20 views, 20 likes. That's pretty solid. Can't beat that. So, XRP, real quickly, because I got to go pick up the kids from school. So, this is going to be a firm 20-minute one. XRP, 4-hour time frame. If you have any questions, please ask. You've got 10 minutes to ask to be a part of this. We're going to grow this each and every day. And for anybody who wants to continue coming here, this is going to get bigger and bigger each and every day. I hope it's not more hopium as well. Truth is alive. I really do. But, you know, only time will tell. And we'll see what happens on the 13th. So, XRP is coming across a moment here. We're trying to have a death cross here. And yes, death crosses happen in many different functions. And this could be a recrossing of the death cross. If that 20, that red line crosses, and it already has the blue line in the 4-hourly. And that's important because now we're going to invalidate that movement. And if we have to, I talked earlier, if XRP holds this 200-day here at 437, that's fine. Even if we hold 432, it's coming down a little farther than I would like, but it technically could be forming an inverted head and shoulders. It formed the pattern formation here on the downtrending resistance on the breakout point. Are we going to go under 45 cents next week? Because I'm going to buy some more. I mean, we very well could be going under 45 cents in a matter of moments here. I mean, under 44 cents in a matter of moments. It just all depends. Can we hold this 44 cents? And are we going to validate a push on the 437? That's the 200-day in the daily. Because right now, it is looking like a bearish formation, except we are trying to put an inverted head and shoulders. You've got a V-shaped recovery on what was at one time, and this is where it gets dicey. It was on the cup and handle. It was in a bullish cup. I mean, a bullish handle, but now we're starting to pour out in a bearish fashion if we break that 432. If we break down below the 432, this is going to invalidate that cup, and it already basically is. If we come down any farther, we got to come and correct this. Otherwise, this whole thing we were talking about before, the possibility that we had to watch out for before it further break down, I mean, you don't really want to build the handle much lower. That's coming down pretty far now. You'd want to build the handle on 46 cents and shoot up. Now, acknowledgedly, we could be building it on the 2-hour time frame and then push out. So that's something we have to be cautious of. But that's why I keep saying, in the short term, we've got to get above 453 and 46 cents to see if that has any legs. But the closer we come to 432, the more likely is that this can break down, and it can break down hard. So just pay attention to that. And then with Bitcoin, it's simple. Bitcoin's probably the simplest I've had to cover in a long time. It's below the channel. We have in the daily time frame a bearish cross. We don't even have to make it up. It's happened. And we got a rejection and push back up. To me, 25,194 is still on the table. Do we go farther than that? Only time will tell. That was a 9% drop from the channel break. And I don't really see any way outside of that unless we can get back above, as I've been stating, that 27,850 approximately, 27,900, and ultimately getting on top of 29,000 and trying to break towards 30 and on top of it. That's how we can invalidate this move down. But right now, it's all but finished, this move to the 25,194. Could it catch itself here? I suppose at 25,800, but that's to be determined. That's to be determined if it caught itself and to be pushed up. But those are the levels that you could get caught up in, assuming we break down or up. So, and now the only other thing that as far as I know, Brad and the Ripple team have been very reluctant to give any specific time frames. I think it's big news. Same, Mark. Same. I think it's big news as well. I really do. Because you don't generally hear it. They keep pushing it out farther and farther and farther. But the fact that he said he expects weeks instead of months, that's something. And not a lot of people have been putting this out. And honestly, surprisingly, the video I put out on YouTube, it didn't even get a lot of views. It did a standard video, almost as if it didn't get pushed through the analytics. So we'll see what happens. And then while I have your attention, we've got about 5-6 minutes. If you have anything to say, I would encourage you to please ask me questions. Yesterday it took a little longer to get through what I needed, but I got to get the kids from school, so I got no choice. But yeah, Mark, I think it's massive as well. And I think as we do this day by day, we're all going to get on such a good level with each other, because we're going to start to understand more of the news, and we're going to start to understand what's going on across crypto. Right now, that is major news. Like I'm pretty much done with the charts. We're just going to talk here for a minute. So, to me, that's big news, ladies and gentlemen. That's big news, only because if this has any legs, let me lower this. If this has any legs to it at all, we could be talking about a settlement in the next week or two, or actually 2 weeks approximately. You're talking about June 13th, 2023 is when that meeting, I believe, is. Or not the meeting, but that's when they put in for extension. No, this is not hopium. This is saying, is Brad Garlinghouse, do we trust him? Do we make anything out of this? Is there some more bullshit? To me, until this date passes, I'm not saying to go in and pile in on XRP. I'm saying if you hold XRP and you've been doing it like we've been talking about for the last year and a half, you're sitting pretty right now, because if this does come true, it's obviously going to bring in some momentum. And the more people that see this news, you might get a little bit of FUD. But the good news is, as this came out, XRP continued to dump a little bit here. I would feel a lot more comfortable if XRP came down and held the 432. I'm just saying what I'm saying. Because then if we can't hold the 432, then we're probably going to have to come down to 41 cents. And then it becomes a big nightmare with XRP. Because if you break into the pattern formation, which I keep telling people, it's a symmetrical triangle or descending triangle. I don't really care how you perceive it. I'm not going to tell you what kind of formation it is, because some people are diligent and it's one thing or the other. But what I will say, if that 41 cent breaks, you're back within a pattern formation that you broke out of now, that you've already had a hold and looks like you're building an inverted head and shoulders. Could this be building into the news in 2 weeks? That's the thing. That's the thing. Is this building into something bigger? And yeah, Adam, I really feel like Adobe. I mean, I hope it's right. I hope it's right. Dictate the shapes time. Yes, I dictate the shapes. So what will happen if the case is settled? I know you probably asked this 1,000 times. One more. Oh, I don't care. You can keep asking. I'm the XRP future millionaire. If it's got to do with XRP, Ripple, or anything like that, I don't care if I get asked it 1 billion times. I'm here. That's why I'm here for the live, so that I can hear what you're saying while I'm putting out an update. So honestly, 2 things can happen, Terry. One, we make an immediate push up and we start approaching the all-time highs, and there are no bad questions. The only bad question, correct, Mark, is the one left unanswered, or left unasked, because then it's got no chance of being asked or answered. So I think there's 2 scenarios. One, we immediately get a pump and we end up at that all-time high area and we go up several 100% in a matter of a week or two. But then I believe there's people that have been there since 2017. That's 6 to 7 years they've been holding on to XRP. Even if they believe in XRP, the moment it gets back there, they're going to say, holy shit, I finally got my money back. I'm out. And they're going to sell. And that could constitute a better than 50% drop in the price of XRP. It could also bring you down closer to $1. We don't know exactly how it's going to play out. But after that, you're going to have a not a catastrophic, you're going to have a cataclysmic, but not in a bad way. This is going to be a historic move. And that's how you can get, and some people are saying thousands and hundreds. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think we're looking for a move in XRP to get to $10, and that's how you should be basing on your holdings. Anything to $10, that's when you can make real business. That's how you can really make a move, because then from 10 to 20, that's 100%. But for you, if you bought with me at 35 cents or an average of somewhere around there or lower even, you know, think of all that. That's a 3x for every dollar. That's 30x for every 10x, or for every 1x XRP moves from $10. Our goal is to get to $10. So either that scenario happens where you go up to all-time highs, consolidate down by about 50 to 60%, let everybody get out who doesn't want to get out, and then it goes that, you know, makes a major run up. Or the second scenario is, once it gets settled, you get a quick move up. You get a bunch of people dumping in. It goes up like a 1x, maybe 50 to 150%. Just misses out on all-time highs. A bunch of the whales sell that have held it for years and years and years. Dilute the sample and then buy a bunch more as it comes back down to redouble up on their profits, wiping out every single person who was in there and who doesn't understand the long-term trajectory. And then it goes up after that. So you've got two choices. One, you have a massive crash right on the news, which would help be a liquidity dump to help push you up. Or the most likely scenario would be you push up to where all these people are holding. You get a massive amount of liquidity flooding in. And that's how you make it, you know, a massive move. But I don't think we just go parabolic right away. I think even if we have a several 100% move, you're going to have a correction phase because of all the people that have been stuck in XRP for several years. So that's the problem. Yep, I agree, Mark. But that 30% that have been holding for that long, it's going to make a significant drop. That's why I said 50%. It could happen. But now there's no guarantee. If everybody has diamond hands, you might have a 20% correction and then it rockets out of there after it comes back down to like $2.50 or $2. That would be your best case scenario, in my opinion. And then with the debt ceiling, I mean, they're still talking. But if we raise the debt ceiling, that's just an acknowledgement that we can't pay our bills and everything's going to be more expensive. So if the debt ceiling is raised, it's just going to cost more and more for us to live our daily lives. I do. So, but if there's any other questions, please, please, please ask me now because I'm running low on time. I've got to get the kids from school at 2:55. I've got to leave here. But I do appreciate everybody. I love this format. Hey, Jan, welcome in. I really appreciate you tuning in. For anybody who just tuned in, you're going to have to go back and watch what I've already put on because I got to get the kids from school shortly. And we've been on for 20 minutes now. So if you're seeing 34 people, make sure you hit that like button. It really is a simple job. You know, it does a lot. It's a simple task I asked you to do, but it really does push me through the analytics. And I'm just stunned that there's even 34 people in here right now. I really am because I'm not telling really anybody about this unless you're watching my update. And I just appreciate everybody taking the time out of their busy day. No problem, Jan. It's not giving anybody notifications. This is not your problem. I'm shadow banned on YouTube. But that's why I always say I come here for the people. You know, it's not a matter of how many people. It's a matter of there's one person. If there's one person, I'll come here. So everybody stay blessed. It's been a tremendous 20 minutes here. I think we're running over on time here because of what I got to do. Just pay attention to what I said. If you're here, I'll do a quick recap. One, XRP, we're not looking to fall below 432 if we're trying to hold on to an inverted head and shoulders or any kind of hope here on a push up. We've already had a nice little hold on the pattern formation breakout. So as long as we don't break below those supports, we can validate and further move up to the 482. You fall below 432 and then ultimately 41 cents, you invalidate that inverted head and shoulders of any kind. And then if we come down below a little bit farther around the 437, we're going to invalidate this bullish handle if we come down much farther. So we don't want to be doing that. And then Brad Garlinghouse, the most recent news, for anybody watching who hasn't seen, Brad Garlinghouse came out and said he expects a resolution to the XRP or the Ripple XRP versus SEC lawsuit, not in months, but in weeks in light of the new evidence that was brought out in the last couple weeks. So that is something to pay attention to. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. You all mean the world to me. I love each and every one of you, and that's the truth. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're not part of this already, and I will see you back here tomorrow between 2 and 2:15 Eastern Standard Time. Tonight at 12:22 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, actually this morning at 12:22 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I recorded the 10th episode of Silver Stackers. It's episode number 10. It goes deep into the Russian gold, how they're shipping gold into several nations, and it also talks about the spot where most likely the spots are the options are being put in on gold and silver, and I have a nice little breakdown of that as well. So make sure you watch Silver Stacking episode number 10 and all the earlier updates that I've put out today. Stay blessed, everybody, and it is an honor and a privilege. Have a good day, Mark. Miss Vicky, have a good one. Oh, I love you too. Thank you so much, Miss Vicky. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mark, thank you. Through to the live. Have a good one. Yeah, I know, no more hopium. That's why I say if we can trust them, I don't know. But that's just the news I'm reporting on. Stay blessed, everybody.